A game of chess is like a sword fight. You must think first, right? Before you move.
Style is immensely strong and immune to nearly any weapon. When it's properly used, it's almost invincible.
Always a bump in the road. So you hit your bump, you get over the bump. You hit a new bump, you get over the bump. So you have scheduling issues. You have a coach comes in and the coach doesn't really fit too well, or a coach comes in and doesn't have the right work ethic, or whatever happens, something changes. And so we've been making those changes now, and I think that we have a good mix. Coach Monday is a hell of a Kenny Monday, wrestling coach, is a hell of a coach. He's a great instructor. The fact that everybody understands wrestling sucks. Wrestling is a miserable grind, and you're going to be a good wrestler if you can accept being more miserable than the person you're wrestling against, and then you're going to be a good wrestler. So the fact that you can have a guy that's 40-something years old that comes in there and wrestles with you every day and puts pressure on you and takes you down and dumps you on your head, you're going to get better because you're like, I'm not going to get shown up by somebody like that, and we're able to get a gold medal or not. And there's a lot of pride in that room, and we all work our asses off, and I think that we all feed on that. And another thing is that we all hold each other accountable. If you're going to come in and try to take a day off, you'll get your ass beat. Like, you better come in and hold your own, unless unless you're tapering down for a fight or you got something injured. Well, if you got something injured, you better not come in the room in the first place. And we keep each other accountable for that.
Just one more question regarding the countdown show. You guys were given 7 minutes, and I think made the absolute most of these 7 minutes. That coming off that countdown show, that to me had the most fire here on this card. When they come down and speak to you, is it almost just like they're reading off all these quotes from Brendan Schaub and just insult after insult? Can you just tell us kind of the process of how these things work and what, behind the finished product that we get to see?
I don't know if I'm supposed to divulge all that or not, but like, it's everything that we say is our own bits, it's whether it comes out or they ask a question and then they get a response. But everything you say is your own creativity or your lack of creativity, however it comes out. I haven't seen the countdown yet, so I don't know what was said or what wasn't said.
Your part was like, both of you, I thought were great for the time you guys got. And it seems that you're someone that kind of understands the fact, listen, I'm one of 450 guys on this roster. I don't want to be a wallflower. You got to conjure up interest. People are going to spend money on this, and I'm going to give them a reason why.
For the most part, I get the media game. Every once in a while I speak off the cuff and get a little bit loose and get in trouble for it, but I get the game for a while. I'm NFL bred and taught, so I get where we're going. But in the same breath, you don't want to overpromise and underdeliver. You don't want to talk too much trash, and you lose and you look like an asshole, and everybody clowns you for it. So that's something you have to keep in mind. So it's a certain matter of having a little bit of couth, but also a little bit of recklessness.
Yeah, you said that in the Canada special, they quoted you as saying that you're a master of psychological warfare and of head games. Is that part of your style, like an Anderson Silva, taunt the guy and throw him off?
It's not necessarily like taunt a guy and throw him off, but like I'm the son of a psychiatrist. I've been around head games my entire life, dude, like everything. So as far as like somebody getting under my skin or me not being able to hold my own or whatever, I'll play chess with anybody, and I enjoy that. It's a challenge to me and it's fun. So if it comes down to it, which is kind of what we're doing now, we're having a little verbal sparring match. Cool, I'll get down with that. I'm open all day.
Is that something that started in The Ultimate Fighter, or is this just a carryover from like time that you guys spent together back then?
No, not really. I have no issues with Brendan at all. Brendan and I talk on a regular basis up until this. We were supposed to fight each other, and so there was never any animosity there. But like as far as head games go, dude, I've been doing it all my life, man. That's why every one of my ex-girlfriends hates me.
With the heavyweight division blown wide open right now, there's all these matchups being made. We've got Mir over him. We've got all these matches set up. Where does a win over Brendan put you in the division, do you feel?
I don't care. It's not my business to worry about it. I don't get paid to. So I go out there, I fight my best fight. I do as much as I can. I beat Brendan, and then we go from there. But for the most part, it does absolutely no good worrying about where it puts me.
Exactly.
No good.
So you don't let the pressure of making a statement win on Saturday, get to you at all, like just having to knock him out or finish the fight or anything like that?
No, not at all. I could not care less. It's not my business.
Cool, calm, and collective, I take it?
Always.
And that said, last night on UFC Tonight, Antonio Rodrigo Nogueira's manager told Ariel that if you win, he wants to fight you next. What do you think of that?
Really? That's flattering, man. That's really cool he even knows my name. Really, call spade a spade. It's awesome, cool. I'm not worried about it at all. I have nothing to say about that. I'm flattered he knows my name. Cool.
If you wanted to fight him, would you prefer to fight him in America or in Brazil?
I really want to fight Brendan Schaub.
Matt, have you addressed the suspension that you received? Can you talk about that at all? Or no?
I mean, if you guys want to ask.
Yeah, I just want to ask you, like, when Did you feel like you were about to get cut from the UFC and that everything you worked for was just gone away in a flash?
Did you feel it was overblown?
No, it wasn't overblown. I spoke harshly, man. I used some aggressive words. So, no, I understand that. And, if this was in the 80s, I probably wouldn't have had such an issue, but it's not. It's 2013, and that's, I spoke like an asshole, so shit happens. I feel what I was trying to say came out poorly, and I chose my words poorly, but I still stand by what I was saying. There needs to be some better safeguards as far as medical, registration and discovery as far as what people have been through and what's relevant and what's not. And it needs to be more than just filling out a form and taking somebody's word for it. But as far as that goes, I think, like I said, I spoke like a dick, and I got in trouble for it, got my hand slapped, and go forwards.
Were you concerned you might be cut from the roster?
Oh, of course. There's nothing. They don't have to keep me here. They can tell me to get on. And if they told me to get on, I move on with my life. I got a college degree, so I'm not too worried about it. But it'd be a shame that I caused that myself.
You're fined for it, right?
Yes, I was fined.
You've been doing MMA for a few years now. What have you made of your decision to do this sport? I mean, you're having a very successful career, obviously. Compared to football, I mean, what's been more fun for you, I guess?
That's a really difficult question. I love the game of football. I love it. It's my first love, other than my kids, obviously. But it's such a great team sport, and that's the thing I like the most. There's never individual until you make one outstanding play or you do something really dumb, and then you get focused on. But they both have such different perks. Like you're one of 11, you're one of 22 faces on a field with a face mask on, so nobody really knows you. So this you get a lot of individual notoriety and a lot of individual attention, which is cool. But at the same time, it's also a little bit more stressful because you know that everything you do is watched now. You don't ever disappear into the crowd. Like it's not like, is that him? It's like, oh, that is him. You know what I mean?
Right. How much pressure are you guys under, like as a fighter? I mean, how much pressure on every single fight to go out there and get a win? Because I mean, like you said, in football, you get 16 games. In MMA, you might get 1 or 2 fights a year. So I mean, how much pressure is it?
This is not a PR answer. This is a legitimate answer. I don't feel pressure about that. I put on damn good fights. So if I win or lose, it doesn't matter. I'm going out there to do something. I'm trying to get my name in the paper somehow. So I'm not worried about that. If Dana wants to cut me because I lost a fight, I went out there swinging my ass off and tried my best, well then, hell, that's what it is. I'll go on and be a teacher after that. So, I mean, I don't lose sleep over that. I don't stress about it. I don't feel pressure about it because, like I said, I do everything 100%. Whether it's drinking tequila, I drink it till the bottles are on the floor and smashed up. Like if it's fighting, I go out there until I either knock somebody out, get knocked out, or submit or get submitted. But I don't ever try to go for a safe fee. Never.
Is that your plan to be a teacher after this?
Yeah, I want to be on the same schedule as what my children are. So I can be a stay-at-home dad, chill with them, and then when they're off in summertime, I get to be off with them. I don't want somebody else to raise my kids. I want to raise my kids. My oldest is going to be 7, Jacob. Then my middle is 4.5, Jonah, and then my little baby girl is Gia, and she's 2.5.
What kind of a wrench does having children go into like training for fights? I mean, it must be ridiculously difficult.
It's miserable. I leave. I have to leave for camp, and it sucks. It's terrible. Like I live through pictures. Tina made me a book that is it's like a picture book from Photo Bucket or something like that, and it's pictures of all my kids for all kinds of things. So I travel. Every time I travel, I have it with me. I have it here in Toronto, and so I just look through it. I miss my kids. I get homesick. We Skype with them. We do everything I can with them.
Now, at one point, it seemed like you were contemplating a move down to 205, maybe even to chase Rampage. Are you still thinking about that, or is
Rampage
that?
And I were talking about doing a 235 catch. I don't think I could be 205. I mean, I'm damn near cutting right now. Yeah, I mean, I'm pretty big.
Sorry, someone asked this before, but you're one of 2 guys in the UFC who's fought all your pro fights in the UFC. Kind of explain the process of having to grow up at that like elite level and kind of.
I appreciate you asking that. It's stressful. That's probably the most stress I get versus performance or whatever else is the fact that everything I do is on the fly. Everything. I didn't have the. I was training from the day one for 6 months to the time I was Ultimate Fighter. So I didn't know shit from anything. I didn't know nothing at all. So like, by the time I go there, they're like, oh, you got submitted by James McSweeney. Dude, I didn't know what the hell a guillotine was when I got caught in a guillotine. And so like, it's been so much growth, but it's also really good because with my notoriety, with a little bit of the name I have, and the fact that I'm willing to travel to go get my ass kicked, that like I've been able to train with Neil Melanson and Josh Barnett and Eric Paulson and Cyborg Abreu and Pablo Popovich and Braulio Estima, like all these people that are extraordinary grapplers or fighters, or Henry Hooft or Alistair Overeem or Tyrone Spong or fucking Anthony Johnson is a monster. Like the fact that I'm able to train with these guys on a regular basis, or they call me and be like, hey man, I need some help. Can you come down here and help me? that's flattering. And most people that are in my situation that have 8 fights in their life can't say they can do that. So it's a double-edged sword there.
You think it's nice to get time now since you did start late?
I'll be honest, I've never been asked that question before, and it's an interesting question. But I'll tell you, I feel that it could be, yeah. But I'm not really I'm not worried about what I can accomplish. My goals, my aspirations are to get a belt, but as far as like what I can accomplish, I can only do what I can do. I'm not going to, jump up 5 ladders on a rung just so I can say I did it, and then be like, dude, why did I do that? I just screwed my whole life up. Why? Just for ego? That doesn't make sense for me. I'd rather the UFC has me on a good pace. They have me jump up when it's time to jump up, and then fall back when it's time to fall back. So I'm good with that. It doesn't matter as long as I give 100% in whatever situation I'm in. I'm cool with that.
Matt, your last fight ended very early, under, was it 20 or 30 seconds? Considering the build-up that this fight with Schaub has had, do you feel like you want the fight to go a bit longer? Do you have any preference at all, or how it ends?
I don't get paid by the minute, so it doesn't matter to me. However long it lasts, it's cool, great. But it's if I knock him out, submit him, win by decision, it doesn't really matter. But like I said, I get the same amount of money whether I knock him out in 19 seconds or I win a decision in 15.
Where do you feel that Schaub is strongest, and how do you feel that you can counter his strengths?
I feel that Brendan has good movement. I feel Brendan's actually a really good fighter up against the cage. I think he pummels well, and I think that he does a good job of stalling out there and winning points there. I feel that he's got decent takedowns, a good blast double, and I feel that for the most part, I think those will play into my strengths. So I feel that I match up very well with him, and I think that he's underestimating my ability or my level of athleticism and my level of fighting.
Compare, Matt, your satisfaction in terms of job satisfaction in terms of playing football and MMA. Are they the same? Are they different? Are you getting more bang for one than the other?
I don't have. These are all interesting questions I've never been asked before. They're fun to answer. I don't have satisfaction per se. In a couple different reasons, and I'll tell you why. That to me, job satisfaction is knowing that I have a job every day. With this, or in the NFL, you don't necessarily have a job every day, so that's really difficult. So I enjoy what I do, but I'm always putting irons in the fire to make sure that I have something else to fall back on. Because as I learned in the NFL, the most dangerous thing in the world is a man with options. So I enjoy what I do. I enjoy the fact I'm not in an office.
A game of chess is like a sword fight. You must think first, before you move.